today we are with Sarah, all the way from the UK, with one of my amazing students in the AZF coaching program. So I would like you, Sarah, to tell us a bit more about where you were before starting the program, emotionally and physically.
I guess before the program, I was frustrated. I'm vegan, so, and I was struggling with that. I never had enough energy. I really wanted to lose weight, and I've tried all the different ways of doing that, no carbs, high fat, high protein. And actually got to a point where nothing was happening, even though I was kind of training quite hard. I was training 3 times a week, but doing strength training. So yeah, frustrated, I guess, a bit miserable about the fact that I couldn't lose weight and I wanted to look better and feel better. So I think that's where I was. Yeah, ready to do something, to make a big difference.
Yeah, and you have accomplished so much in a little time, which is 3 months. So what were your biggest accomplishment with the program working with me?
Oh gosh, that's quite hard actually to have one accomplishment.
Or you can say a few, maybe you have.
I'm going to say just how it is, or how it's been for me. So for me, it's a life-changing event for me, because having done the different diets and the up and down with the weight, I now know I wanted to go for the rest of my life not dieting. I don't want to be dieting, and I want to be fit and healthy. And so I think the biggest accomplishment is all of that, is to know that I can carry on eating, I can eat well, I can eat I can eat good plates of healthy food, I can feed my body, and I can train. And I've kind of been amazed to what level I can train to now, and how strong I can be and how consistent, I guess. And I've built this whole pattern of eating well and training, and that's just meant I sleep well, I have more energy. I mean, I'm really bouncy all the time, and prior to getting my eating right, I'd be falling asleep on the train on the way home, and just feeling tired and lethargic. And yeah, so the biggest accomplishment is kind of getting myself back and ready to kind of move on.
Establishing this new routine that you have now. You have been super consistent since day one.
Thank you.
I'm really happy. And then also your strengths are something that I wanted to say. We start with relatively lightweight, and now you're lifting the whole Bowflex.
The whole Bowflex. I did it today for the anyway, we'll get into my training, but yeah, and it's very motivating. And I think that's what I've really enjoyed about the training, is the sort of it changing it up all the time and moving on and feeling like you're achieving, and then seeing the results of that. So, I've really seen that change in my body, and I'm wearing things I haven't been able to wear for ages. So that all of that kind of, getting stronger, and I'm amazed by the weights I can lift, and I kind of, where am I going with that? But yeah, I don't know how I'm going to be able to lift those weights in the future. But that's been incredible, and I think the training, the way that you structured my training, you took into account that I had a back issue and the things that I needed to be careful of. But also I can still lift the weights I need to lift to get the results I wanted to get. So
absolutely, yes. And that's why we have to, sometimes we don't know how actually strong we can be, or we are just putting too much limitation with ourselves. So slowing, we are able to actually get there.
Yeah. So each week you're kind of, you're pushing yourself. And I think anybody that wants to do the training has to know they've got to put that effort in, haven't they? You're not going to get any results if you don't. But pushing yourself each week and feeling better. I mean, I felt better quite quickly, and even though I didn't lose weight at the very beginning, I was getting stronger and had more energy really quickly. Within a week or two, I was feeling different, and that just kind of powered me forward. But I think the changing of the routines and adapting them to where you are next, and building on that, it's been amazing for me.
Absolutely. So what would you say, what are the steps that we implement together that that's something you're going to keep forever going forward, working on your goal?
I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to keep, the objective when we had our first conversation was obviously I'm in my late 50s. So, I wanted to be, I'm conscious of staying fit and healthy, and I want to be active up until the day I drop dead, whatever that is, hopefully a long time in the future. So I think that obviously the eating and just, I'd almost gone to sort of eating 1.5 meals a day. And I think I realized how much I was under eating and how, I wasn't eating enough protein, I wasn't eating enough carb. So all of that's coming with me. I mean, I'll never go back. I really like the food I'm eating, and the training. Obviously I've got to keep that going. I want to keep that going. I'm kind of slightly addicted anyway now. I want to keep going. So you just, you find a way. I have a busy life. I have a full-time job, but you find a way to fit it in. And 35, 45 minutes, I can fit that in somewhere in my day.
Absolutely. That's why
all of that's going with me. It's all going with me.
It's going with you. That's why it's so important to have goals. And then when you crush one goal, you just have another one to work on. That's how you get really excited. You're motivated to keep going with your training.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always going to train now, until I can't. I'm always going to train.
Love it. Part of your life. And then last question. Yeah. What would you say to someone actually that is on the fence and thinking of joining or not the coaching program with me? So what would you say to that person?
Oh my goodness, get off the fence. I mean, I was a bit hesitant, I don't know you, I've never met you, I live in a different country. So, I remember when we had that first conversation, I asked you quite a lot of questions, which obviously you answered really well because now we're here 3 months later. But I think it's just do it. You can spend a lot of time thinking I'm not ready. And actually, if you're sitting there and your body shape or your fitness or the way you're eating makes you feel a bit miserable or you're feeling guilty, it's just, you can change that. You just get off the fence and just do it, because once you start, you'll never look back.
Never look back.
Never look back.
Really.
And I remember the first time when you said, right, take a photo and send me your photo, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, I don't know this person, I'm going to send her this picture of my body as it looked. But actually I'm so glad I did, because then when you carry on and you see that change, I didn't realize how motivating that part would be as well. But people might feel embarrassed about that, and it's embarrassing, but send the photo and just move on.
And then it's really rewarding when you can see actually the change. And then photos again are just for the coach, of course. For me, it's never shared online unless you're like, okay, just share my progress. Again, that's up to do my students, but it's very rewarding because you can see the change every week, because sometimes we don't see ourselves changing.
Yeah. So, and that's absolutely right. Absolutely. I didn't see it until started to look at that, and I was like, okay, yeah, I could feel it, but I didn't. You can't see it physically as easily. Yeah,
because the scale again does not define our progress. It's not the best way to really track our progress, because we build muscle, so we don't always see that. And pictures are really awesome to really see our progress. The clothes also, measuring also the waist. So that can be just another way of tracking our progress. So all that going forward, that's something you want to keep doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.